Welcome to episode 3. I'm super excited as always. I feel like I need to get I need a better vocabulary. I don't know, I was talking about that earlier today. Because of the pandemic and because of quarantine, I've forgotten what a lot of words are. I think because I'm just not used to interacting with people. I forgot the word for a stick today, so that was interesting. But I'm super excited that you guys are here. If you're watching live, that's awesome. If you would like to interact during the show and comment, I would recommend watching on YouTube. I put the link in the Facebook, see, there I go, I forgot words again. The Facebook comments. So you can click that, and then if you comment on YouTube, I'll be able to see it and drag it into the video, which would be really cool. Yeah, and so other than that, I'm trying to think if there's any other housekeeping things I need to let you guys know before we get into it. Essentially Haley is the YouTube channel. We also have a Facebook group, which I'm hoping will turn into a community of just people who want to hold each other accountable and be creative and try new things and just play creatively without having, the pressure of perfection or creating something for the industry, just kind of nurturing our creativity. So definitely check that out. It's just dancers doing stuff over there. And the last thing before we get started is the podcast version of this episode will go live on Friday, and there's also the mini episodes on Sunday. So there's been 2 of those so far. Definitely check that out. There are creative challenges for the week. This past week, I talked about creating a sacred space for yourself where you can be creative, whether it's at your home or at your parents' home if you're still there. So check all of those things out. But now I want to show you a little video of our guest today. Today's guest is Robyn Williams, the amazingly talented dancer, choreographer, fitness instructor. She has done a bajillion really cool jobs. She's incredibly smart and brilliant and also very humble. And she's also a hilarious joker. She has a great sense of humor, which I'm going to show you in one of these clips. So I'm going to play for you a video of her dancing, and actually it's her choreography. And then I'm going to show you a little personality video that I just find really fun. It makes me laugh. So here we go. Close your eyes, you can see me by the way that I feel. Kiss the lights and touch my body. Close your eyes, you can see me by the way that I feel. Come and spin me around, let's get lost in the sound. Close your eyes, you can see me by the way that I feel. Touch my body, kill the lights tonight.
Arms go up, arms go down. You could do it however you want to express yourself. So I like to say, shoot the basketball. Because, fun fact, I'm a really tall human. So if you want to throw the basketball, and then you take it down, you dribble it. That could be your narrative. You can be whatever narrative you want. So you groove. It's like, pass the ball. I got it. Pass the ball. You got it. Bump, bump. Then you throw it again. And then you dribble it. Yes. Boom. Dance is fun. Now you say, where are the haters? They're not here. You know why? Because they're down there. They're down there. Now take it faster. Here you go. You got it. And that is your breakdown. And I hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions, there's a button called rewind. That's a great thing about these things. There's a rewind button. My name is Robyn. If you want to follow me on Instagram, my name is Robyn Williams with a Y. And then I'll see you here next time at Full Out.
Amazing. Okay, those videos just make me so happy. So I am going to bring Robyn in. Let me give a little applause. Let's get Yay! Welcome, welcome. You're here.
Yay! Oh my God, those. Also, it's like on top of it, it's like you never hear your voice ever. And 'cause it's like, it sounds different, like in your head. And then you're like, oh my God, that's what I sound like.
I feel that so much. I'm always like thinking about how I sound like a cartoon mouse or something.
You don't, I promise.
Okay, thank you. Awesome. Well, welcome to Dancers Doing Stuff. I'm actually going to switch up the order of things for those of you who have watched before. Usually we save this till later, but we're actually going to start with let me get the graphic ready.
Oh.
Let me see if it'll go. We're going to do our Would You Rather game just to start it off. So,
love that. I'm ready.
It's not too crazy because it's from this like pre-made kit. It's just like the best Secret Santa gift I've ever gotten, and I use it all the time. So it's like very useful. So we got to pick a green card and a red card, and let's see. And if you're watching at home, you can comment which one you want, and maybe I'll share it in the little screen. So head on over to YouTube, comment on which one you would prefer. So, would you rather spend the rest of your life trapped inside a yellow balloon, or fight off a horse-sized swan every time you go to the restroom?
A horse-sized what?
Swan. Like the bird.
Swan.
Yeah. That's hard.
Definitely the second one, because like if you do it every time, you have to pee like many times a day. So you would figure it out. You'd be like 1, 2, 3, and then boom, you'd figure it out.
And I imagine like you'd get really strong because like you'd have to like strong. Swans are really strong. I heard. I've never experienced, but I heard that they're kind of wild. So yeah, I would.
I heard that they're not how they look.
Yeah, and did you see the video of the swan who like bit that lady's mask and like pulled it up onto her face? It's so funny. If you haven't seen that video, I highly recommend looking for it. Let's pick another one. Let's see. Would you rather wear winter clothes all through each summer, or have to spell out words when you speak instead of being able to say complete words? So
oh my God. The first one. The first one. Because I feel like you'll always end up being in AC at some point.
Yeah.
Or like the other one, you kind of can't get out of it because you don't know how to speak. So the other one, you'd be able to like be in AC at some point.
And I'm personally very bad at spelling. I know that you're actually very good at spelling and grammar. That's something that should be on your resume, a special skill.
Really?
Yeah, I feel like you're always like very good with your grammar on Instagram, and like you're very I feel like that's something, maybe I'm making it up, but like I feel like you never use the wrong your. You've always got your apostrophes in the right place. You don't stand for ignorance or of any sort, whether it's academic or any other situation. So that's really great. Awesome. So that was really awesome. So jumping right into our questions, obviously we're going to talk about dance because that's how we know each other. That's how we're connected. So I wanted to know a little bit about like where you're from, like where you grew up. What's your story with how you got into dance? Give us bring us back to how it all.
Okay. Well, I'm from South Florida. I started dancing at 5. Yeah, 5. It was kind of like, well, there's no such thing as like haphazard. There's the whole like coincidental, and it's not a real thing because your life is like already planned for you. But in the actual scheme of things, it seemed as if I like fell upon dance. And what happened was I was at a slumber party, and my best friend in pre-K, she did like everything. She did like gymnastics, soccer, you name it, she did it. And like it was like a sleepover, but my parents couldn't pick me up like that same day, so they had to pick me up the next day. So I went with her to dance and like watched her, and I was like, oh, I want to do that. That's what happened. But I had been to like her soccer games and her gymnastics practices, and like that never like clicked, but like dance clicked. And then had my first class in the, you know, that class, the combo class, we have tap and ballet.
Oh yeah.
Somehow I was like really good at it, and then I like went up a level, and then I went from the pink leotard to the black leotard, and then that's where we stayed.
I love this like leotard. Getting to the next color leotard was like such an accomplishment, and you would like I went to like mostly like a ballet studio. I went to 2 different studios, but the ballet studio I went to, we had like different color leotards for every level.
Yeah.
And like you were like, I really was like, I want to get that periwinkle leotard so bad. Like I skipped a leotard. I like skipped a level one year, and I was like, I get to go from this leotard to this. It's like so silly, the things that you get like so excited about when you're little. But
right, and it's almost like, and then once you hit a certain level, like everyone wears a black leotard, and it's like now you get like the coolest black leotard, just like stand out.
Like the lace, or like the cool like the turtleneck with the little zip or something.
The zip, that one was the one, the zip one. Everyone wanted that one.
Definitely. So you're in Florida. From what I remember, this might be totally wrong, but I know that you came to New York to do pro-sem, but that was kind of because of another situation where you had an interesting experience with agencies and stuff like that. That's pretty different than what I hear most people go through. Usually it's like people get their agent when they come here after they've been here for a while. So maybe like share that experience a little bit, because I think it's really interesting to hear different ways of how people get into the biz. So
so I would kind of classify my whole entire life as unconventional, but that's a whole other story. But we'll talk about that later. But so what had happened was, so preface, I'm a tall person, so I have been tall. Like my license, I got my license when I was like 15. The height of that has not changed. I'm 5'10". I was 5'10" when I was 15 years old. Note that. Wow. So what happened was, at a convention, my current agent, Juliana, was at a convention. I was 16. And I guess they were like scouting. They just happened to be scouting at that convention. So I think the owner of that convention was signed with them. So like they just like came in and was like part of like judging or whatever. And I guess Juliana liked me, and she approached me and she was like, yeah, so like, are you going to college in New York next year? And I was like, I'm in like 9th grade or whatever grade you are when you're 15.
Right, you're like not there yet.
Yeah, she thought I was 18, 17 or 18. So obviously you can't talk to a minor about like job things. So she stayed in contact with my mom, but I was very like into school. Like when I say that, like I mean it. Like it was school first and then dance. Even though I was like a competition dancer, and like also South Florida during that time, Dance Moms Miami became a big thing. So like all South, like that was a whole big thing down there too. It changed the game for the competition world down there. Like it was nuts. Don't want to relive that. But anyways, where was I?
She had a meeting with your parents.
I was very into school. School was first. Like I was in like every club you can think of. I was in NH National Honor Society, and then I was like in charge of photography for yearbook, and then I was like kind of a newspaper, but like not a newspaper, and then I was in charge of like the web design club. So with that being said, I always had to be at games, I always had to be like around the school, always doing things, and so with school. So in my head, I'm like, I don't know who this agent is, and my scope of dance, I thought it ended. Like it ended at your dance studio, and then like the only thing after that is soybean can dance, and like if you want to be a rockette. Like that's, I didn't understand.
You didn't like think about when you were young. Did you think like this is like I'm gonna go into this professionally, or it was just kind of
no?
This is what I
didn't even know that it was a thing. Like, I didn't know. I had no idea. Like, and also it's another thing that we can talk about that like we'll get into that in a second because I have a thought about that. But yeah, so that being said, I guess my parents and my Juliana, my agent, stayed in contact from 15 to 18. Not like in contact, just like every like other year, like Merry Christmas. And
that was smart of your parents to keep that connection going.
Yeah, and nothing like we'll send you flowers. It's more because my parents are very business people. Like they're not artsy at all. So like for them, it's like, hi, like we're alive, it's good to see you, like, you know, like that kind of thing. Nothing. I didn't grow up with dance parents either. Like they weren't like, go in the front, sweetie. Like if you got a high silver, they're like, you did so well. Like that's what my parents did. Like that's it. And so yeah, I had a full academic scholarship to a private school for business. And I was like, yeah, and I was gonna go into that with a minor in graphic design because that's what I was like really into, and full blown, like I accomplished it, whatever. Then my mom was like, and then I wanted to audition for the Rockettes just because, like, whatever, let's go to New York.
Why not?
Obviously, I got cut, and
I feel like it's not obvious. Like I feel like that could be in the cards one day.
I just feel like at that time, like the kind of dancer that I was, and like the amount of like meticulous like strength and like focus that you need to be a rockette, like I clearly was not there at all. I was like a little 18-year-old from a little studio, you know? Right. So that's why I say obviously got cut. But so then after I got cut, so that was my first audition ever. I didn't know what I was doing. My mom was like, let's give Juliana a call. We're in New York anyways. And then I had my meeting, and I was under the impression that I could just like fly back and forth for auditions. I didn't understand anything. And obviously the audition was in August. And so Juliana was like, well, I can get you into the pro-sem professional semester. Whoa, how is it pro-sem semester? Hello. The professional semester, but it starts next week, Monday.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know it was that quick.
Yes, Haley. Like I saw her on like a Wednesday or like a Tuesday, and she was like, next week, Monday, it starts.
Oh my
God. So as we're flying back, we're like, should we do it? Should we not do it? Should we do it? And then my parents were like, bless my parents. My parents were like, well, school will always be there. Like you'll always be there. Yeah. If he got you into this situation, and like she's like, and I'll sign you like whatever, like we think that you'd be a good look for, you know, whatever. That's how agents work.
Also, you're very talented, so that's a yes, part.
And like versatile and like all the things. So I'm like, yay, thank you. So I put my scholarship on hold to go back in January. So I would do this semester and then go back in January.
What school
back
were
to
you
school.
Gonna go to?
It's called Nova Southeastern University in New York. Oh my God, in Florida. Okay. It's like where doctors and like lawyers go. And so then I did this professional. So I just packed up my things, came here within like 3 days. Finding an apartment was like a mess because we didn't know anything. Yeah, a whole thing. And then I did the professional semester, and then like right after it ended, there was an audition for New York Fashion Week with Luam. And I was like, okay, I'll just go to it. Because I'm thinking I'm going to go back home to go to school. So I was like, whatever. I have nothing else to do. Let me just like go. And then I like booked that. Yay. And then I booked that. And then right after that, I booked a job with Rich and Tone for ABC.
Was
So
that
then my parents were like, that one was the Luam one.
Was it like the one where people had like those glowing umbrellas in Times Square? Did you do that?
Oh no,
That
that was like the year after. But I know. Oh, I remember that job. That was wild. But so that happened. And my parents were like, you know what? Just like give it a year. So I had to call my college and be like, hi, I'm not coming back. I don't know when. And then I just never went back since then. And here we are.
Wow. So that was that 2015 when you did all of that?
2015 is when I did pro sem. So it was like August to December. And so for me, I feel like my actual like New York professional dancer reign really started 2016, like that January.
Right after.
Yeah, so that was my story. That was so long. Oh my god. But yes, so
No,
that was.
It's
that.
so interesting. I had no idea. So it's so funny because everyone I've interviewed so far is a pro sem alumni, or as I like to say, like we're like #retired nation, because we have our pro sem oh my goodness, pro sem nation hashtag, and I thought it was so funny, like we're retired, but and that's not a requirement if you want to be on the show, by the way. But it's so funny because this is actually a pro sem show. It's everyone sign up, BDC pro sem. No, but it's so funny because I met you through that process because I was friends with Addie, and then I was an understudy for your pro sem. I had done pro sem the year before.
Oh my god,
yes!
Yes.
Understudy for your group. You guys were the first ones who did like an opening number for your show.
Oh my god, I remember that.
And I had to learn every part just in case, and then I ended up actually being in it, which I wasn't expecting. I was in the theater section, but that was so funny. So that's like where I met you, and I remember like knowing about like you had like videos that you were posting on YouTube too with like choreography, didn't you? Or like I remember.
Yes.
I think that's so interesting and so like brave of you to like put yourself out there even from such a young age. I know it's like it's different now, like even just since then social media has changed so much, and I'm sure like we can talk about that because I know that you have some like very I support your beliefs on social media filters, and you're very vocal about filters on Instagram, and just if anyone has seen the picture that I picked for this episode, I picked it specifically because it was a beautiful picture, but also because of your caption and how you commented about like beauty standards and like being in an industry where we do have these expectations put on us a lot of the time, and a lot of the time it's like, you know, you have to fit this certain box or fit this kind of like sexy woman idea, and like sometimes it, you know, like you're put in these boxes, like I'm put in the like cute Disney box, and like someone else might be put in the like sassy lady box, I don't know, like, so I think that that's really interesting, and also like really cool that you were putting yourself out there and doing your choreography even when you're younger, so.
Yeah, that is what in that situation is very much like ignorance is bliss. It's like because you don't really know. Oh my god, because you like don't really know. It's kind of just like I'm just gonna post it like whatever, and like I have my take on social media. Okay, please hold. I know this is so weird, but I feel like I need to hit that button. Wait, do I? I don't know. I'm not sure. Okay, anyways, New York City. Like my doorbell just rang. I don't really know why.
You can go check it if you want.
I don't really know why. And now a number from New York is calling me, and I don't know why.
That's weird. Maybe go check it. It's okay.
I don't want to answer because then they're gonna come up and knock on my door, and like I have to answer it, and I'm like I'm in the middle of a show.
You're in a show right now.
I don't know why it's calling me.
Sometimes that happens. That's like, if you don't live in New York and you're watching, that's like a thing that happens. The other day it happened to me, like there was a woman, and my doorbell thing has a little video, they just like upgraded it, and there was this woman like aggressively calling my apartment, and I was like, I never have seen this woman in the building ever, and she doesn't have like food or like a package or anything. So I was like, why? Like, who is this lady? She didn't have a mask on either. So I was like, I'm not letting you in the building. But like,
and then
weird
also like
things
I
like
haven't
that
ordered anything. I haven't like ordered anything. Like, this is so weird. Okay, I love how it's happening in the middle of your show. Okay, hold on.
It's okay. It's okay.
I'm gonna hit the button, and then see what happens.
Just see what happens. This is like plot twist. I've hired like a.
Just so weird. Okay, hold on.
To
Here we go.
show up at your.
Everyone's gonna hear what's gonna happen.
It's actually the supplies for our craft that we're making. That's.
Can you imagine? But I also like don't know what it is.
I've ordered you things to be.
Hi. Oh my God! Yes. Wow, this is like right away. Thank you so much. Yes. It's like Christmas.
I'm so intrigued.
Wow, thank you so much. Yes. Thank you. Oh my God.
I feel like this is like Mr. Rogers, and like he's
okay.
Someone's at the door.
So, mask on 2020. So, long story short, okay, remember when I said my life is unconventional?
Yeah.
Here we are. So, I did I did New York Fashion Week.
Yeah,
and,
I want to talk about that too. Like, talk about that disconnects.
Yeah, this would be a great, this is so funny. Okay, so we got to pick out an item of clothing. And they were like, yeah, we're going to pick out your item, and then don't worry, we'll mail it to you. That was today at like 4. It is only 7. And they just like hand delivered it to me.
Oh my
God.
Now.
That
you can do like an unboxing. This is like turned into a haul video.
This is wild.
So what did you get? So this is crazy because also I'm like very lucky to get to talk to you because I know your schedule is, I feel like you're like one of the dancers in New York who is like always booked, which is like so cool. But at the same time, you are also always like doing things that are not dance and taking care of yourself and like doing fitness and like, I don't know, I feel like you're a really great example that like you don't have to take 15 classes a week and like, you know, you have to have a life. Like my whole thing is that like dance can be like what you love most in life. Like I love dance. I dream about it. I like love watching it. I love doing it. But at the same time, in order for me to like be a healthy human who can dance, like mentally being there and physically being there, it's so important to have other passions and to like nurture the other aspects of my life. And like, so I'm very lucky that I even got to talk to you today because you literally were in New York Fashion Week today. Like, that is so cool. So like, what was that job like? What was the designer? You can do like an unboxing of your outfit. That's so cool.
It's interesting that you say that because I feel it a lot to people that like your life cannot be your career. It cannot. Like your life has to be balanced. It's like there's a career portion of your life, there's a love life, that's non-existent to me, but there's a love life, and then so that's not very balanced. But you can like change it into self-love. So let me like not say that. So anyways, so there's a career, you have your love life, you have your family, you have your friends, you know? And then if that is not balanced, it's almost like, what is the point? Like when they say like, what is success? It's almost like you can do all these things. You could be on this cover and that cover and work with this person, that person. But if you're coming home and you're like not a happy camper, then it's like, what is the point? Because at the end of the day, not to be like morbid, but like at the end of the day, like you don't die with your accomplishments, you know what I'm saying? Like you have to like live your life.
You don't have like your resume to be like, I took 40, you don't have like your BDC receipts.
Oh yeah.
To be like, look, I took 4,000 classes, like, can I have a good afterlife or like whatever you believe, like, you know, like.
Also, it's really important to also, one, don't look for validation in the wrong places. And what I mean by that is you have to look for validation like in yourself. It can't be in something that could change without your control, i.e., social media, i.e., a select group of your class that you're in. Like you can't base your success or how you feel about yourself on something that you have no control over. And I think people forget that literally, I know it's going to sound very corny, but the only thing that you have control over is yourself. It really is just yourself and your mind. Yeah. No, you can't control anybody. You can't control I can't control how you're going to perceive me and and whatever I say and vice versa. And I know it sounds corny, but it's always said because people don't do it.
Yeah.
Because we're glued to social media. And to be honest, let's just be real. When you click Instagram, like everyone else's stuff pops up. Like that's why you go to Instagram to scroll through other people's stuff. And like, if you want to get into social media for a second, I think I don't believe social media is bad. I think it's how you use it.
Yeah, it's a tool. It's a helpful tool. It's a tool for creativity, but it's also a dangerous tool that you could dangerously affect yourself if you don't have the right mindset and the right intentions while you're using it, I feel like.
Right. It's just like, can I say this? I'll say this. It's just like alcohol. Like, it's kind of like, yeah, it's there. And like, you know, like it'll get you lit, but like it has to do with like how much intake you have with it, whether it's harmful or not. Maybe I shouldn't use alcohol, but like,
knowing your limits with anything, you know, it could be. Yeah. And I mean, it does relate really, I think, well to alcohol because it can be addictive. Social media, like most people, I would say, are in some way addicted to their phone or their social media, like. It is like, and it's designed like, I don't know if you watched the movie on Netflix, what is it, The Social Dilemma, I think.
Oh, yes, I forgot what it's called though, but yes.
They designed it to be like addictive to us, like they want us to be on there because I think it was interesting, they said something about like, I mean, this is like obviously different, but they said something about like, I'm gonna misquote it, but something about how it's a free, like, just, it's free, but that means that we are the product. Like, because we're not paying for it, someone is paying for it, and that means that we are the product that is getting sold. Like,
oh, yes.
That kind of thing, which is interesting because it could relate to, I mean, that could relate to the dance industry, I'm sure, just the industry, we are, you know, like, the product of stuff, and it's like whether it's what we're choosing to create and put out there on our own platforms or like the molds that we have to fit into for the job, you know. Mm-hmm. But I think that's really interesting. But I wanted to transition into our little craft thing, and then while we do our craft, we can talk about your day today. So just a little explanation for anyone at home, because this craft is like much more complicated than the ones we've done last week. We did like magnetic poetry. The week before, we made vision boards. So today is National Rock Collecting Day. So I wanted to do something related to like rocks or crystals, and Robyn posted like some crystals on her Instagram the other day, and I was like,
I have them here.
Oh my gosh, I really want to like get crystals, but then I get overwhelmed whenever I'm like in a crystal purchasing place, and then
oh my god, wait, I can like help you with that.
I'm like so down to like do that.
Because for me, I like looked them up first to like understand truly like what they meant, and like that helped. Like I have a few here that I could like tell you. Hold on, can I do it? I have like I can't. I have a few that I can like tell you about. They say like when you walk in, it's the ones that like speak to you, but like. When I walk in, there's so many, and they like all are pretty.
Yeah, I want like the whole store. Like I just want to live in the crystal store.
So I ended up just getting I ended up getting the ones that I looked up, and I was like, yes, that resonates with. Because for me, meaning has to make sense. Mm-hmm. I guess that's why I'm single. But like, I can't just like go or like the one that's sparkly. Like I need to know what it means. You know what I mean? So let me know if you want to. I can tell you. I can tell you them.
Tell me.
So the basic ones are
Crystal.
rose quartz
Right.
for love,
Okay.
the heart, whole situation. Okay.
Love that.
Then we have amethyst.
Oh, I love amethyst. That's my birthstone.
Yeah.
And that's kind of
okay.
like, it kind of looks like what I tried to base.
It does.
I tried to base our soap. So basically what we're gonna do is I made like the base soap of this because it would have taken so long that this interview would have been like 4 hours long if we wanted it to like harden. This is like melt and pour soap. So we're gonna actually be cutting these soaps to make them look like they are like soap gems and crystals. So that's what we're going to be working on, and I can tell you guys how we made it, but I based this on amethyst. You can kind of see it's like the purpley colors. I tried my best, but I think it looks pretty cool. So what is
amethyst is good for like intuition and like your mind. Yes. Okay. That's cool. And then this is shungite. It's good for like grounding, and if you put this next to like your router or like your phone, it like takes away like the energies that your phone emits that could be like harmful to you, and it like absorbs.
Ooh, I need that for sure.
Yes, and then one very common, I think everyone should, if you're into stone collecting, everyone should get black tourmaline. It's a grounding stone. Negativity, you can put it by your windowsill, and as it absorbs negative energy. Great. I have only 4 more. It'll be close. This is opalite. It's very pretty.
That's beautiful.
Yes, it's good for clear communication. So if you ever have to like for your next dances doing things, you can like put it in your bra or like whatever. But like it's good for like public speaking. So whenever you're like ready to like you just meditate on it. Cool. Okay. I'm almost done. I promise. This one is citrine. You can see it's kind of like orangey. It's also my birthstone. It's like for happiness and joy and creating that into your life. Or what is that? Attracting it into your life. That's what I meant to say. Cool. Very common pyrite. Also known as like fool's gold. Yeah. Great for like attracting money, abundance, all the things. Also not just money, but also like clearing out negative energy, grounding, creating abundance. Okay, last one. This is the one that no one like knows about, but this one is ocean jasper. Also known for creating happiness, joy around you. It's like a really cool stone, actually.
Yeah, it looks really cool. I love like how it's cut is kind of what we're going to try and do with the soaps, like kind of cutting different shapes into it.
Yeah, and that's my little collection that I started.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. When did you start getting into crystals? Like, is it a recent thing, or have you always
like heavily seriously into it? Like within like the month, but I had started collecting like a year or 2 ago, just like haphazardly, because again, like I said, I'm in like the fitness world, so like I was at a fitness. What is it called? Not a workshop. Oh my god.
Convention.
Oh my god. Like an outdoor convention. Like, you know, when you go to like food festivals, it was like a fitness festival.
Okay. Yeah. Makes sense.
So like
festival sounds
Soul Cycle and like fitness festival. That's what it was. And I happened to find myself in the stone section, and you just like put in a coin and like in whatever like called to you, like a word that called to you. It was like either abundance, love, money, or something else. And then I said, well, I'm going to go with abundance because I feel like if you attract abundance, you'll get all 3 of the other things. So let's just do that. And then I don't know where the stone is. I think I lost it. But my first stone ever was smoky quartz, and it was a grounding stone. And at the time, I was going through heartbreak, and I was like, yes, I need this to like clear myself.
So maybe it served its purpose, and then it just disappeared.
Yeah, and then
That's
after a
why
while, I
you
was
can't
like,
find it.
oh, yeah. And then so that's the one that I got, and I was like, oh, I like this. And then after I started getting into like self healing and like self work, a whole other thing. I'm now starting to get my health coach certification. So that's what I'm doing now. So like I've been like getting into that. So that's where.
Yeah, that's a perfect kind of transition, because I was gonna talk. We can start cutting up these things while we talk about this.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you, some of your. Oh my gosh, a knife sharpener! You're so prepared, and that's like very intense, but also kind of like ASMR, maybe. I don't know, like hashtag knife sharpening. That like is gonna get us more views, so for sure.
Oh, love that.
Yeah. I'm including this little.
Oh,
it's
you're
not
so much more official than I am.
I mean, but I just have like so many craft things. Because I was telling you before this, so I wanted to talk to you about like what are some of your other passions outside of dance. But for me, like crafting, creating things with my hands. I love making like soap and bath bombs and stuff like that. That's what kind of like calms me and like re-grounds me, so that I can like be my most creative self. So this is like an official soap cutting thing, but you don't need this. And so like the way that I made these soaps was basically this is melt and pour soap. So I have some clear melt and pour soap and some white melt and pour soap. I poured a bunch of them into different containers that were like either a little bit of color and then a little more color, had some blue, some clear. I just tried to get a variety of different colored soaps. I let those harden, and then I chopped them up all whatever way, like you can really go crazy with it. And then I added some gold mica on the clear.
That's what that is.
Yeah, so that way it kind of looks like, because I know some crystals have that kind of like shimmery mica layer, so
yeah.
I thought that would be cool. And then you put it all in a big mold, fill it with some clear soap. I added a fragrance.
Oh, it smells so good.
It does.
We talked about that before
called,
we
like,
started.
Moonchild, I think, is what it's called. It's a soap company called Brambleberry that I really like. So I can definitely, if anyone out there is interested, I can like write you up a little recipe for this. Maybe I'll put it in the Facebook group. A little plug to join the Facebook group. But yeah, so we had a little soap exchange today. Robyn came
literally on the street.
We like passed off the soap in a bag, because it would have taken hours to show this to you guys like from here. So we thought it would be cool to just kind of show the final version of cutting it all up for you. So we're just gonna like play and see what happens. The key is to kind of cut it at the different angles, just like the way that you can see a crystal. I mean, you have your crystals in front of you, so you will have like great inspiration. I'm just gonna do it from my brain. But yeah, so.
Oh, we'll see.
Yeah, it's not a competition, but like maybe it is. So.
Listen, I almost didn't pass pre-K because I couldn't cut paper in a straight line. So, and I also can't ride a bike. So here we are.
Well, I don't have my license. I don't know how to drive. So that's something that you know how to do.
But wait, where are you from again?
I'm from just outside Boston, a city called Somerville. So we have a subway. So
Yeah, but that's like normal.
Yeah.
Now, if you were from Florida, where we drive everywhere, and you don't have a license by now, I'd be like, yeah, that's weird. But like, if you're from a place that's heavy on like public transportation, like I think that's very normal.
Yeah, yeah. I know a lot of people who can't drive. But yeah, so what are some of the things that you're passionate about outside of dance? I know that you've recently been like doing a lot of fitness jobs that are still movement based, but that is looking really cool.
Yes. So obviously, like outside of dance, like I'm not gonna say like choreography or anything, because obviously, but I guess in the same vein, like creativity, but I also have noticed that I like to help people. And not just help people, like, let's gossip one day and hopefully you feel better. Like, I've noticed that even, like, on jobs, I'm always the person that's like, so how are you feeling? Are you feeling okay? Like, I'm always the one that's, like, checking in on people. And I don't know if it's, like, a subconscious way of, like, because dancers don't get treated well in general. So it's like, I'm like, well, let me be the person that's going to be like, how are you? So for me, it's like, it's health. I guess it's fitness. That's like my other thing that I like to do that I'm passionate about. Yeah, and just like making people feel good, especially in things that like people are scared to do. Like for example, like that clip that you saw of me like teaching how to dance. Like most people who are not dancers are actually very afraid of dancing. They actually are. So I try to add like a little bit of a humor part of it because people relate to humor. And yeah, so that's that. I mean, obviously like acting and like all that stuff, but yeah, I would say mostly like fitness.
Nice.
Am I
You
asking
said
any
that
question on that?
you've been working on getting like your fitness certification. Is that what you said?
Yeah, so I have my personal training certificate from the National Academy of Sports Medicine, NASM.
Oh.
So I'm a certified personal trainer. And now, here, I can even show you my book. And then now I am studying to become the professional's guide to health and wellness coaching. So that's what I've been like studying while I'm busy doing Fashion Week and teaching fitness and filming and doing all these other things.
I love that because I feel like, especially being in an industry like you were saying in that Instagram post about, it is a very like visual and like judgmental industry that we're in. Like some of it, it could be avoided, but a lot of it also is like, that is what it is, they need to hire people because it is a visual thing. They need to hire you based on what they see you doing, and if you fit into their vision. Obviously there are things that I think could change in that way, but I think that it's awesome that you're kind of countering that energy that is being put out in the world, and like by helping other people feel great about themselves and giving people tools to help themselves, you're kind of countering that energy of, look at me, here I am, that kind of, I don't know if that makes sense, and kind of rambling about
Yeah, no. And also like with that being said, like any dancers who watch this, that are like new to the industry or we're in a pandemic, but you know what I'm saying, or you're thinking about wanting to do or whatever, or not even dance, just like in life. And of course, we're all still trying to figure out life, but I think the best advice that my parents ever like instilled in me is to be just like your authentic self, because I believe in the law of attraction. And like, if you're busy going through life in a facade, you're going to attract things that are fake. So if you continue to be your authentic self, I feel like you will then attract things into your life that match the vibration of what you put out. And if your vibration is authentic, then you're going to be happy with what you're doing.
Yeah.
Regardless.
Definitely. I love that. So how was this Fashion Week job that you just did?
It was wild.
What is
literally today. That's why when I saw you, my eyes were like dark as hell because it's coming from there.
The fashion was like even more intense than the dance world in terms of like, retouching and makeup, and there's like that
fitting the clothes
with like the sample sizes. Like there's a petition to make sample sizes bigger because even like tiny models can't fit into these clothes, and it's just like so unhealthy, the image that they're portraying. But did you have like a positive experience with the fashion situation, or did you feel?
Oh, it was great. We were celebrated. Like, I feel like we're in a place where dance is now being more celebrated, because now it's like, oh, dance adds a whole nother level to entertainment. And I was talking to someone the other day about dancers and how I feel like we should be paid better. And
that could be a whole
like
different episode. We could talk.
Yeah, and it's like treated better, because at the end of the day, like when you go to a concert to watch, I don't know, like Lady Gaga, it's like, you think a normal person off the street, it's like you think you're going there just to watch Lady Gaga, but you're actually there to see her whole entire performance. That is a big part of it are her dancers.
Right.
It's like, I would love for y'all to go to a Lady Gaga concert without any dancers.
Yeah.
You're gonna feel like something was missing.
Yeah.
And you probably won't go back because you actually are there to, like, even Janet Jackson. It's like everyone remembers, like, the dances, but, like, who was there for you to be inspired to, like, actually do the dancers? The dancers.
Right.
Which is a job, which that means we're important.
A legitimate job that we should be compensated for because we are valuable. We we can talk about this for hours, but yeah. So what was did you just dance? So you danced for a designer? Is that what, like, are you having some trouble cutting here?
I was trying to cut it out. Yeah, so of course, you know, Fashion Week can't really be Fashion Week like how it is because of COVID. So I think most designers are doing, like, visual presentations of it. And of course, this designer, Allison Olivia, she wanted to do, like, a visual, because she works with ballerinas a lot. So she wanted to make it, like, very fashion forward, New York forward. And so we had us come in and do, like, a bunch of like commercial dance and all this stuff. And yeah, and then we just did that. As we recorded. We filmed that, rehearsed it, filmed it for her, like, visual presentation, and then today was, like, a live performance of that as if it was, like, actual Fashion Week, like a whole fashion show, but through social media. And so that was today. And then everything else was, like, the days before. And then yeah, and it was great. I think that environment, we were celebrated, you know, appreciated. If anything, this was one of the jobs where it's like I never felt disrespected. It was a very respectful environment. They really respected us as dancers. And yeah.
Wow,
So,
that's awesome. And it's so unfortunate that is, like, we're talking about that and excited about that because that's, like, rare.
Because it's not the norm.
Yeah. And, like, that is, like, in any other profession, like, imagine a doctor being like, yeah, today I, like, went into work and I did a surgery, but, you know, I wasn't paid for it. And, you know, I mean, obviously dance is different than surgery, but, like, we still are vital to the world and to, I mean, the arts are so important. If anyone is watching, like, definitely check out the Be an Arts Hero campaign that's going on right now, because, you know, the arts are really struggling. So that's, like, a little plug for that. I don't really know too much about the people involved in it, but I've seen it on Instagram and it seems really interesting. So I'm going to do more research. But yeah, that is so awesome. How is your soap looking? I've cut some of mine.
Oh, you're keeping it. Oh, I don't know what I'm doing.
There's no wrong way to do it, though.
And you have. I don't know what I'm doing now because I was, like, cutting them out in a way.
They're like gems, like little mini gems. Oh, but that looks so good too.
Like, maybe I'll use this, like, to wash my hands. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
I love it. I think that.
I should see what you did. You're doing it, like, that's so smart. Like, what am I doing? Just out here, like, just like, what am I gonna do with this? Smell it.
It smells.
Put it
looks really
in
good.
my bed.
I think it looks.
But yeah.
Awesome. Well, I think now is the perfect time. I wish you could see it, but here we go into this. Ooh. We've got the point of our show where I have a few questions, a few deep questions. Some of them are fun, some of them are deep. They're loosely color-coded, different questions that I've found online. So there's 4 different categories. So I'm just going to randomly pick 4 questions for you, and we'll see if you feel uncomfortable with any of them. I mean, I don't think they're really, like, crazy questions, but you can always pass. But let's see. Some of them are more deep than others. Let's get it here. Okay, we'll start with a funny one that I just pulled. Have you ever laughed so hard a beverage shot out of your nose?
Yes.
Were you older or, like, younger when that happened?
Older.
What beverage was it?
It was like Sprite. It like hurt a lot.
I laughed so hard once. I was really little. I was at the science museum, and chocolate milk shot right out.
Oh, at least it's like smooth.
Yeah, it was.
Ew.
It was not comfortable, but it wasn't carbonated, so I think that would be much worse. Okay, next question. This one's kind of a funny question given the year, but it says, what has been your best moment this year so far? Which is not so hard to pick.
My best, what do you say, my best moment?
Yeah.
Honestly, like, yes, like, this fashion show was, like, fantastic and, like, totally great. But when I think about, like, my soul, like, I would say doing, like, those segments and things for Neo U. Because I feel like I could literally, I have full range to, like, be myself.
Yeah. That's so cool. And that's like it's like a fitness. What exactly is it? I'm still kind of confused with it, but it looks really cool.
It's like the Netflix of fitness.
Okay.
So
that's cool.
So a little plug, and just go to my Instagram bio and like use my link.
You can see if you're watching right now, her Instagram is right on the screen. So go check
it
out.
Go to the link in my bio. You have a 30-day free trial of all the, I guess it's like 2,000 plus classes on there. Like if you're not into dance and you want to do yoga, there's yoga on there. You want to do weightlifting, like everything.
Cool. Maybe
Use
I'll
my
put
link
that
in my bio.
I'll put that in the show notes, the description.
Yeah.
They can sign
Yeah.
up for your link.
Yeah, I truly feel like people should take advantage of it, but if they want to, whatever. But and it's on demand, so you don't have to like be like, okay, at 4:00 I gotta get on because it's the only time it's happening. You can literally do it whenever you want, on demand. Yeah, and so you go on there. It literally like kind of sort of looks like Netflix in a way, and you can just like pick the class you want to take, and they're all on there on demand.
Nice. And so you are kind of like one of the teachers that they could take. Like you have a bunch of classes that are recorded on there?
Yes. Yeah.
Cool.
Like that clip that you showed earlier.
Yes.
Literally that.
Basketball, we say. Where are the haters? And we sit down here.
Truly, the jokes are there to help me remember the choreography. Because after a while, like, because, like, I'm talking the whole time, like, I'm not joking, like, I'm in, like, a blur. It's, like, I don't remember what I said until I watch the recordings, and I'm like, oh, my God, I said that. But some of the things are literally there because I need to, like, remember the choreography. So I'm like, I want to be said. I don't know what's coming next. But, yeah, so.
I love that.
Do you want to get into that?
Yeah, definitely. Okay. What do you fear about getting older? Or I guess, do you fear getting older? Could be also the question, because maybe you don't fear getting older.
Well, I will say that ever since I was little, people have always said, like, Robyn, you, like, act so old for your age. And then, like, even in dance, like, because I was tall, it's like I was always put with the older kids. And so it's like, and also I'm an only child, and, like, I'm the youngest of my family. So it's like I was always around adults growing up. So it's like I've always kind of, like, been older than my age anyways, but that's not your question. The question is, what do you fear about growing older? For me, it's the fear of learning the hard way of all these new lessons that come as you get older. That's what I'm fearful of.
Interesting. I love
because as you get older, there are literally new lessons to be learned. Like, can you imagine having a child? Like, I fear that. Like, I want children, but I'm like, that's a lesson. And then when you for me, I would love to get married, but like, and then marriage is like another lesson. And then it's like, how do you deal with like your relationship with your parents now that like you have a kid? And then like, what is that like?
Yeah.
You know, it's like, I mean, I jumped I'm sure there's like a lot more lessons to learn before that, but
Yeah.
getting older and like new lessons to be learned. That's what I'm fearful of.
Yeah, I think that as I've gotten older, I kind of, when I was younger, I thought that adults, it's like, here, like, I very much liked, like, check off the boxes and, like, complete things, and, like, it's like, okay, now I'm an adult, quote, I'm an adult, and so, like, I should just, like, know everything, but that's just not the case. It's like,
No.
constantly learning. There's always things that you don't know. Yeah, so that is, let's not dwindle on the things that we're scared of, but I think we'll
yeah, and then time is just a concept. Time is just like a construct, what I meant to say.
Yeah.
And like, with that being said, if time is a construct, that means like goals within society is also a construct. So it's like you can construct it however you want to. So you don't have to be married at 30 and have children by 35. But you really don't.
Yeah.
Someone said that and was like, let's go with that. And I think also we are taught that going through school.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, once you do this, you pass the test, then you go to first grade. And then, okay, now at first grade, you should be 5 years old. Right? I don't know. I don't know how old you're supposed to be.
Something like that. You turn 6, maybe 6 or 7 in first.
Right, and then it's like, if you're like 13 in 5th grade, then it's like you're too old. It's like there's like a whole, that's like, it's already like ingrained in us, like from when we're little. So then when we're out,
especially as women,
school,
there's a lot of like, there's a lot with age and women, and in dance, I mean, that could be a whole other conversation.
Oh yes.
Which we'll get into that some other time. We'll have a part 2 of this conversation. Okay, last question of these, and then we'll go into our final question of the day. So, what characteristics make a person successful? And I have successful in quotes because I think that that's a very relative term.
What characteristics makes them successful? It can be as many.
Yeah. Whatever, like, your core beliefs of success are.
Jordan and I literally just talked about this. Literally talked about this yesterday. Happiness, being happy, I guess. And with that, under that umbrella is like content. You feel you literally feel like you don't lack. That is, to me, like what success is, that you're happy and you're not out here being like, well, I have to do more. I have to do more. It's like you're content and you're abundant. And by abundant, I mean that you already have what you need. You already have everything that you need, and not want, but like need.
Yeah.
And your wants are addition bonus.
Yeah.
I feel like that's success.
I love that. Okay, and our last question of the day is, what brings out your most creative self?
Oh, yes.
I know, this is the question that I ask everyone, and by everyone I mean the 2 other people that I've spoken to.
Okay, this might be like really corny, with dancers doing stuff, but truly, it's music.
Interesting.
I'm not gonna lie, I noticed like when my days are off, it's probably because I haven't listened to music yet, or at all. And once I do it, I'm like, fine. I'm like, okay, cool. And then like, I feel like I have like my most creative moments like while I'm listening to music, whether, not even about dance, just like anything.
Yeah. Is it like a specific artist that brings out any creativity in you, or is it just like any type of music, you can find something from it?
Yeah, anything. And I think because I feel the most creative when I listen to a song that was big or like I really liked from when I was like in middle school. Cause then it's like a weird like, whoa. And then it's almost like you get like thinking and you think about yourself now and you're like, oh, I want to do this now. It's like, I don't know. It's like very weird.
No, I love that. That makes sense. It like connects to like memories and like unlocks like part of your brain that like opens it up to new possibilities. I love that.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, if you have anything that you would like to plug, where can people find you if they want to, you know how it goes, do those plug things on these types of shows.
Well, follow me on Instagram and then go to my link in my bio and hit the link to do 30 days free trial. And that's it.
Awesome. And yeah, so if you guys want to follow me and this show, definitely go subscribe to my YouTube channel, Essentially Haley. My goal is to get 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, so maybe one of them could be you. And then, yeah, you can follow me at Essentially Haley or Haley Grove for my personal dance stuff. Essentially Haley is more for the DIY stuff and the dancers doing stuff world. And then, I just tried to break my microphone. And then you can also subscribe to the podcast Dancers Doing Stuff on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, basically all the podcast places. What else? Join the Facebook group. I'm going to be starting in October. I'm going to be doing my mini episodes that come out on Sunday. I'm going to be going through the book, The Artist's Way. So if you want to do that with me, I've never done it before. I've been like...
Morning pages.
Yeah, morning. I'm a little nervous about the morning pages because like 3 seems like a lot. Like maybe I'll get a small notebook so the page...
Oh, I started off with just going to the end of the page.
Yeah, I think that's where I'm going to have to start. But yeah, so if anyone out there is like interested in doing that with me, definitely subscribe to the podcast. I'm going to be starting October 1st, and then it'll end right before Christmas time. So we'll get it all in, unlock our creativity before the new year. Yeah, so thank you so much for watching. Check out the podcast. This episode will come out on Friday, and then there'll be a mini episode on Sunday. And I think that's it. So thank you and bye. I don't know why I just tried to do a whoa. That was not that wasn't it. Oh, all right. Bye guys.